We're going to talk about thinning apples and pears and why you do that. You can see things are just coming out of bloom here. If you don't thin your fruit, you've probably noticed at times where you get 5-6 apples in a cluster, the fruit is small and not full of sugar, and then the following year you get no crop. And the reason is that if you leave too many fruits on your trees, the seeds release a gas that will inhibit blooming the following year. The best time to do the thinning is just at bloom time or just after bloom time. You can see we have a cluster here. The apple in the middle is always the first bloom out. It's called the king bloom, and that's because it is the first bloom out and it is the largest fruit always on a tree if it sets. So we're going to thin this down to 1 apple. I'm going to tip the fruit to the side. You can spin it if you want, and I just lightly pull against it. And that motion of spinning it, tipping it, pulling it in the direction of the spur works really well on these. See, like right here again, the angle is going that way, pull in the direction that the spur is pointing. These little shoots that are 8 inches long, I don't care if the fruit hangs, if the branches become a little pendulous, because they're going to put the branch in more of a horizontal angle, which is what you want for your side branching coming off of your main structural branch. Let's talk about doing some hand thinning. This is an apple. Your best quality fruit is definitely grown on wood that is 2 years or older. Where I have my right hand here is the beginning of last year's shoot all the way out to the tip. You can see there's flowers on the end and then many flowers in here. There are some varieties that do fruit profusely on that 1-year wood, the wood that grew fresh last year. All this fruit will not be very good quality, so we just automatically take all this fruit off from here on out. If you have a branch that has very little new shoot growth, or that has been pruned back into 2-year wood like this one right here where my right hand is, then these you want to make sure that the branch isn't going to be so pendulous that the fruits will pull the branch over and deform your tree. So we take everything off unless it's a very firm branch, back 12 inches or so. Now in this case here, this is a Jonagold, and we tend to leave 2 fruits per cluster on the Jonagold unless it's very heavily fruited, which this tree is. In that case, we will leave the fruits, focus on leaving the fruits that hang off to the side and the larger fruits. If the fruit is twice as big at this stage, it will be twice as big at harvest. So if you're experiencing very large fruits on a variety and you want them smaller, at thinning time, thin off the biggest fruits. And if you're looking for the bigger fruit on a small fruited variety like a Connie, then thin off the smaller ones. It is better to leave doubles on most varieties if you're leaving that type of number, and take all the fruits off another spur. So every other spur you're leaving 2 fruits on, and you're getting that 6 to 8 inches between apples at harvest time.